Halo cek, halo, halo cek, halo.
മാറി മാറി.
Good morning, everyone. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to the second day of workshop on Python for Managers, Data Driven Decision Making, organized by the Department of Management Studies. A warm welcome to our beloved resource person, Ms. S.A. Sahaya Renosha, Head of the Department, Coordinator, Dr. M. Babima, and Joint Coordinator, Ms. M. Adlin, online and offline participants, and my dear friends.
To formally begin this workshop, I would like to invite Ms. G. Rajalakshmi from First MBA to deliver the welcome address and extend a warm greeting to the gathering.
Good morning to everyone present here. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the second day of our workshop on Python for Managers, Data Driven Decision Making, organized by the Department of Management Studies at St. Xavier Catholic College of Engineering. First of all, I warmly welcome our respected correspondent, Reverend Father S. Guardian Philan Justice, for the continuous support and encouragement in containing this wonderful workshop in his absentia. I feel honored to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed chief guest, S.A. Sahaya Rinosha, HR business partners at Talent Jigs. We are grateful for her presence and valuable time to share her knowledge with us. I warmly welcome our respected HOD, coordinator, Dr. M. Babima, and joint coordinator, Mrs. M. Adlin. This program that benefits us for our future. I also extend a warm welcome to our online and offline student participants who render this support and cooperation while conducting this program. I also welcome our respected faculty members and dear students who are part of this workshop. I hope this workshop will be very insights and provide valuable learning for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajalakshmi, for your warm and inspiring welcome address.
Now it's my privilege to invite Ms. R. Ashmi, Assistant Professor, Department of Management Studies, to share a brief review of yesterday's session.
Good morning, all. Now, I would like to present the review of the first day's workshop. Yesterday, we had the opportunity to participate in an insightful workshop on Python for Managers, Data Driven Decision Making, which aimed to enhance our understanding of data science. The workshop was conducted from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and witnessed enthusiastic participation with about 85 participants attending offline, 102 online participants, and 76 participants joining through YouTube live streaming. The session was handled by Dr. S. Ajida, Associate Professor from Ramaya University of Applied Science, Bangalore, who is an expert in Python programming. She began the section by explaining the basis of Python and highlighted the growing need and importance of artificial intelligence and data science in today's data driven world. Following this, a technical section was conducted where she demonstrated basic coding in Python, helping participants understand the practical aspects of the language. Overall, the workshop was highly informative and useful, providing valuable insights into Python and its relevance for managers in making data driven decisions. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving us such a clear and concise review of yesterday's session.
Now, it's my pleasure to invite Mrs. M. Adlin, Assistant Professor, Department of Management Studies, to introduce our beloved resource person to all the participants.
Good morning, all. I feel very happy to introduce our resource person for today, Ms. S.A. Sahaya Rinosha, HR Business Partner, Talent Acquisition at Talent Gigs. She is an alumna of our institution, making her presence here even more special and inspiring for our students. She has diverse industry experience in human resource, talent management, and IT business analysis. Earlier, she worked as a project engineer, gaining strong technical and analytical exposure. Her professional journey reflects a blend of technology, HR expertise, and industry insight. We are delighted to welcome our proud alumna, Ms. S.A. Sahaya Rinosha.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful introduction. We are truly below to have such an intellectual personality among us today. Now I request Ms. S.A. Sagaya Renosa to take over the session.
So good morning everyone. So this is me Sahai Rinosha, and you heard enough introduction about me, so I don't think I need to give another introduction. So we'll start off with today's session. So how many of you you don't understand Tamil? If so, I'll continue in English. If not, we'll go both Tamil and English. Anyone doesn't understand Tamil here? All are comfortable with Tamil. So we'll go mix of both Tamil and English. So then we'll go with English. So our topic for today is core Python concept for business use. Okay, so today we are going to see all the basics of Python. We will not go in depth in Python because that would be very scary for all of you. I know mostly people are from different backgrounds. Anyone from here from computer science or engineering background? Computer science. So you people must be aware of Python, right? So you know the syntax and basics of Python. So it would be very easy for them to understand if I go in depth. But for others, we need to go from scratch. Okay, so I'll go from very basic details. Okay, I'll not go into much detail. So I'll go with basics. Okay, so you might have heard what Python is and how Python is used in different business aspect yesterday, right? So guys, please give some reaction. Then only I'll understand whether you are here or not. So you might have gotten some idea, right, yesterday. So what Python is and how it is used in different areas. So the thing is that in today's world, Python is mandatory for all the roles, be it any role, not just for managers. It for every role, Python is very important. You need to know at least one programming language to survive in today's industry. So you need to know you need to know at least one programming language. So even to top expect if you ask which programming language to learn as a beginner, everyone will suggest Python because Python is the most beginner friendly language to learn. Okay, so it is the most easiest one because it's similar to English. You need not learn much syntax because in Python we'll use indentation, so which is very easy. The interpreter will tell you how to give an indentation. Okay, so you need not learn much. You just need to know the ideas and concepts, how to work with programming. Anyone here who studied C or Java? Anyone aware of Java or C programming, C++? No one. You know, right? So ask them how the other languages would be because she is aware of Python as well as C++ and you are aware of Java or C++. Java. So she is aware of both the languages. So we can ask her, in C you will have to follow certain things. Then only you will be able to execute and program without an error. In Python, it's not the case. Okay, here it will be interpreted line by line. In C program, I'll explain that in detail. Okay, here in Python, everything will go line by line. So you need not write an entire code in a Go to execute your program. But in C program, you have to start from your header till your last line to get your output. Okay, so that's the difference, and Python is the most easiest one you can learn. Okay, so I'll try to cover most of the basics today, and it would be I thought of asking you to bring your laptop, but it would take a time. So as the today's assignment, please go to your house and download Python in your laptop. Okay, because for tomorrow's pandas, you need to have your like Python in your system to execute. So okay, so please go to your house. If you have a laptop, please download Python. Okay, go to the official website, download Python as per your system configuration, and it will be very easy. Okay, you'll have to give next and execute the path, like configure the path, then you'll be able to download Python. And I'll just demonstrate a simple programs as well here. Or if you find it difficult to like download Python in your system, you can go for like Google Colab. You need not download any Python or anything. um, yeah, if you have your system today, please take it and you can go for Google Colab. Okay, please sign into that. You need not download anything. You can just execute the programs in different languages. So here, since you are for Python, we'll execute Python. I'll demonstrate you how Google Colab works as well. Okay. So what is Python? Okay, so Python is the most in-demand language right now for any role, be it any role. It's a most high-paying role as well. High-paying job, like Python developer, data scientist, data analyst. These are the high-paying jobs right now. These are the hot jobs in the industry right now. These are the jobs which have like major like openings compared to other languages. Yeah, do like Java developers get paid a lot, but compared to that, Python developers get paid more and the openings are more. So your prospect of getting selected would be high. Okay, so knowing Python will, if it doesn't help in your initial stage, it will definitely help you in your later stages. Okay, so Python is a high level language. So we do have like C++. C is a medium level language. High level languages, which is very easy to understand, which is similar to English. In most of the programming languages, we will have keywords. Okay, so keywords are the syntaxes which we'll use to execute a program. Okay, so these keywords are like very simple. In C, if you have to print, you have to give printf. In Java, I have to give a long keyword for that. In Python, you have to just give print and it will print you an output. Okay, so it is very easy as that. Okay, so you'll have to learn Python. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so like Python is a high level language and it is interpreted. So in other programming languages, if you, for example, if you look at C, you'll have to start with hash include conia.io and everything. Okay, you'll have to start and you'll end your program and it will be like compiled. Those languages, be it C or Java, those are compiled languages. So those program will be executed and will generate an byte file which will be then executed. Okay, so that's what how a compiler works. It's in Python, you'll be using interpreter. So here the code will be executed line by line. Okay, so it's not compiled at a stretch. Here it is interpreted line by line. So we have learned 2 points about Python. Okay, two main characteristics of Python. It is high level language and it is interpreted. And as I said, it has very easy to read syntax. Okay, and also like it's open source. Okay, so open source in the sense this code is available to anyone to see. For example, Windows is not open source. Anyone know here, like anyone is aware of Linux? Linux, CentOS, you're aware, right? So Windows is like a licensed platform of like Microsoft, right? But Linux is open source. So anyone can see the source code of Linux. Similar to that, the other languages are like Golang, for example, is licensed by Google. So you'll not be able to see the source code of Google, like Golang. But for Python, it is open source. So anyone can see the source code. So it will be very easy for the companies because they need not get any license for using this source code or like utilizing this language. So it is like very cost effective for the companies. And also like it uses modules and packages. So modules and packages are like kind of technical. Okay, so modules in the sense the program will be divided into small modules. For example, if we have a lesson plan, we'll have first a month we'll cover this module, second month we'll cover this module. So that's how you'll have your internals, right? For the for the first internal, you'll have first 2 lessons. So that's a first module. Similar to that, like in programming, Python programming also will have modules. Okay, so modules and packages. So we'll have a definite name for those modules packages. So you'll be able to recall that in different programmings. Like a programmer will not write a single program. They'll be using multiple programs, right? So if they write a package, for example, to find a sum of two numbers, so even if they are building a calculator, so they can take that package and include in the calculator to get a sum of two numbers or five numbers, 10 numbers. They can use the same code in different programs. So the number of lines of code will be reduced. Okay, so everyone understood, right? Like from your reactions, I don't think you understood anything at all. Understood? Or like where you guys are standing? Still in Python? Or like till this point? Packages and modules. Everyone understood what is package and module? So can someone explain what is a package and a module? So like online participants as well, you can just unmute and tell what is the difference between a package and a module. So no one understood. So what's a package and a module? So package is like you can imagine as a package. Okay, so a package will have different things. Okay, so you can write different like a source code. Okay, I'll write a code to find the sum of numbers. It can be any numbers, two numbers or three numbers, sum of any numbers. I can write a code for that. So I'll have that code as a package. As a package, I'll declare it and I'll have a code. So when I'm writing calculator program, I can call those packages in that code, in my code. So I need not write again a 50 line of code for that. In a single line, I can call that package and I'll use that in my code. Okay, so that's what a package and a module is differences. Okay, and it was created by Godot van Rossum and it was released in 1991. So Python is still, was there from like 1991 and it's still evolving and it is like still top in the market. Okay, and it is very beginner friendly. Please like try to concentrate here. Like you will learn like basics. I'll not go into detail. Okay, like not much in depth. I'll not scare you. So very basics. So please try to concentrate here. You'll get an idea what Python is, and you might develop some interest to learn that. Okay. So key aspects of Python, as I mentioned, it is like very easy to learn. Okay, very easy in the sense like if you look at the syntax, you'll be able to write a code in 5 minutes. In other programmings, you need to memorize the syntax. You need to memorize the keywords. Like in Java, even to print a single line, you'll have to write nearly 7 or 8 lines of code. In Python, it's just a single line. Okay, so yeah, so it's very easy to learn, and as I mentioned, it's an interpreted language. It's not a compiled language, it's an interpreted language. So it is executed line by line, not at a stretch. So line by line, once you're writing a code, it is executed line by line. For example, if you're getting an input from a user and then printing an output, so it is for the interpreter will first execute the first line. If there is any error in the first line, it will tell you like there's an error in this line. So you'll have to correct it, then only it will execute the next line. If it is compiled, so you'll have to like the compiler will compile the whole program. It will create a class file, and then which will be like again like compiled to give you an output. Okay, so that's how it works in C or Java. In Python, it is interpreted line by line. Guys, here. Okay, and it is like a versatile application. Okay, so it is used in like it can be used with any languages. Okay, it can be used in any domain. Python can be like not in any languages, it can be used in any domain. Okay, it can be used for web development, like data analysis, and for machine learning. Majorly we'll use for machine learning and data science, we'll use Python. People do use R, but like Python is very convenient. Okay, we do have many packages. Like tomorrow we are going to see pandas. Okay, so similar to that we have like skitlearn, matplotlib. We have many like libraries in Python. So these libraries will be able to like visualize the data. For example, in a company will not have a single data. Okay, even if they maintain in an Excel sheet, there will be like thousands and lakhs of data. We'll not be able to will not be able to visualize all the data just using an Excel. We need to know like what are the data there, what are the inconsistencies in the data. So in that case, like we'll use this Python libraries. Okay, so like Python is used for like different applications, majorly AI, machine learning, and this web development. For web development, we do have other libraries like Flask, Django. We do have different libraries for web development as well. So you need not write from scratch. For Java and all, there might be libraries, but it will not be like it will not be customizable. In Python, we can do that. Okay, so there are we can call those libraries. You can utilize those libraries, and you can easily execute those libraries and generate a website which will be very cost effective and time effective as well. Okay, it will be very efficient. So like Python is used for different purposes, and also like as I mentioned, extensive libraries. We do have like different libraries in Python. For any case you mentioned, there will be a Python library. Since it's open source, any people can many people can contribute to the source code. So there will be many Python libraries. Okay, and also cross platform. So we can use Python in any platforms. Most of you will not be aware of Linux or CentOS. Mac OS you will be aware, but other OSs you will not be aware. We do have like similar to Windows, we'll have other platforms as well, like Linux and CentOS. Okay, these are also open source. Yeah, so we can use this Python in different platforms. Okay, not just in Windows, you can use it in Linux as well as CentOS, as well as like Mac OS, everything. Okay, and also like key business applications of Python. Okay, as I mentioned, the majorly these Python is used in today's data science for like data analysis and data visualization. So if you have like lakhs and billions of data, you'll not know like what are the datas you have, what are the inconsistencies in the data, or like how many female employees are working in the company, how many male employees are working. So what's the reason for the attrition? Okay, so you'll not know all those details just looking at the data, because like there will be millions of data, it will confuse you. இல்ல சார் சார்ஜ் ஏறல. ஒயிட் கலர்ல ஸ்டாப் ஷேரிங். ஏறுது ஏறுது. Okay, guys. So back here. Okay. So it is also used in like AI and machine learning. As I mentioned, majorly we will use Python in AI and machine learning. Okay. Hope you are aware of what AI and machine learning is. Okay. So hope you are aware, right? What is AI and machine learning? Difference between AI and machine learning? Everyone are aware, right? Yes or no? Yes. So, we'll use majorly in machine learning. In AI, we can use any language, but in machine learning, we'll majorly use Python, because Python have extensive libraries to visualize data. So, majorly we'll use for machine learning. Okay, and also for web application development. As I mentioned, we have many libraries like Django, Flask. So that is also like an easy case for them to develop a website. So it is also majorly used in like web application development and finance and e-commerce. Okay, it is used for like sales forecasting. Okay, so with this data, we'll have data, right? So we'll be able to forecast the future data based on the past data. So it is also used in this domain. and in integration with other tools and API. So if there is an existing tool, okay, if there is an existing tool, we will be able to integrate the data into like this like we will be able to develop a new future like feature for this Python, okay, with the use of this Python. Okay, guys in the back here, okay. Okay, and benefits of Python. Okay, so with the use of Python, we'll be able to like increase the productivity, because the lines of code we'll be writing is like limited, right? We'll be making use of the packages as well as the libraries. So like it will be modules and different classes. We'll also write classes similar to Java. We'll also have class in Python. It is also like Python is also in OOPS concept. Okay, based on OOPS concept. So you'll be writing like classes in Python as well. Okay, so like the number of lines of code you are writing will be very limited. So guys here, okay, so the productivity will be increased. So you'll be able to increase the productivity of the employees in the company, and also cost effectiveness. Since it's open source, we'll not be needing like the company will not be needing to pay for the license of Python or anything. Okay, so it'll be like it's very cost effective, and also like scalability. So for example, if a company is in a like a small scale company right now, and the company will keep on growing, then they will be able to scale up the application. If it is like a small application, if it's Python, in most of the other languages like C or C sharp, you'll have to rewrite the code from scratch again. Okay, if there is an application, you need to rewrite the like code from scratch again. You'll have to leave the like existing application. You'll have to develop a new application in those cases. If your organization is like currently with 50 employees and it is scaled up to like 1,000 employees, you'll have to remove the existing application. You'll have to develop a new application. But in Python, you can scale up as the organization grows. Okay, if it is from 50 to 500, you can scale up with Python, you'll be able to scale up the program, and you'll be able to scale up the application as well. Okay, so these are the major benefits for business using Python. Okay, so from here we are going into like basics of Python. So till now we saw what is Python and what are the uses of Python, how Python is used in different areas. From here on, we are going to see the basics of Python. So this is how like a Python syntax works. Okay, as I mentioned, in other languages you will not have indentation. Be it any language, you will not have indentation. In Python, you will have indentation. Indentations are nothing but the spaces which you have. See, for in the first line we have declared number is equal to 3 and number less than 0. Then we have given like next line is like there is a space. Do you see? There is a space, right? So that's what we call an indentation. Okay, so like when you're running a Python program in online compilers, be it Google Colab or W3 Schools, you see an online compiler, right? In that online compiler, it will automatically give you an indentation. If you are writing in a notepad, you'll have to give an indentation. Okay, if it's an online compiler, you need not give an indentation. It will automatically give you an indentation. So when running in Python program, this indentation is very important. But in C programming or other languages, you will use curly braces. Okay, so if you use curly braces, this indentation is not necessary. You can just start running the program in the same indentation, like same line. You can just start writing the program. But in Python, this semicolon, okay, sorry, not this colon, and this indentation is very important. In C, you'll be using semicolon at the end of each statement. Here the semicolon is not required, but here you'll be using this colon and indentation. If there is a colon at the end of a sentence, you'll have a indentation in the next line. Okay, that's how Python programming works. Okay, it is like in other languages, if there is indentation, it's majorly used for readability. So if a person is writing a code and I'm the next person who is going to review the code, I'll not understand someone else's program. So I need, if it's my program, if she's going to read the program, she'll not understand. If there is like, I'll have to give some commands or like some indentation for the readability. But in Python, it is like mandatory. You'll have to give an indentation, then only the program will work. Okay. So this like Python use this indentation to like indicate a block of code. So this is a block of code. For example, here you have a if statement, right? So I'll explain the if statement later on, why we use if statement at all. Okay. As I mentioned, if there is a colon at the end of a sentence, you'll have the indentation in the next line. Okay. And here there is only one line, right? So if you have a continuous line of code, it should follow the same indentation. Okay, it should not go like before or after the indentation started. So it should be in the same indentation to indicate a block of code. Okay. And the next one is like Python variable. Okay. So hope everyone are aware what a variable is, right? So you'll have, like in max, you'd have learned what a variable is, right? So obviously everyone knows variables. Obviously we are going to indicate with X and Y. Variable is something, it can have any value. It can have your age, your like your height, your weight. It can have anything. A variable is something. There are two things in Python you need to remember. Majorly in every programming languages, in Python we mostly don't use constant, but majorly in every programming you need to know the difference between two things. Okay, constant and a variable. Okay, constant is something we cannot change the value of. For example, you cannot change the value of 1, cannot change the value of 2. It is going to be 1 no matter what operation you do, like except for like mathematical operations. Whatever you do, its value is going to be 1. If it's 5, it's going to be 5. You cannot change that. Okay, in Python we do have some constants like value of pi. Like value of pi is like going to be constant. We cannot change the value of pi. There are some numerical numbers which are constant, right? That will be in constant in Python, but generally we don't use the constant concept in Python. We use variables. Okay, so variable is something, it can have any value. So in program we can have, it can have any value. Okay, for example, if I'm variable can have a name as well. It's not just X and Y. Okay, it can have any names, guys, here. Okay, it can have any names or any variables. Okay, so it can have any name, it can store any variable, but it should have the variables of same kind. Sorry, it should have the values of same kind in major cases. In most of the cases it should have the values of same kind. Okay, for example, we do have like a Python variables here. Okay, so the name, number, sequence. Okay, so name, we have given a variable name which is a string. Okay, so name is a variable, name is the name of the variable. Okay, it's confusing, right? For example, you have it as X. Okay, instead of a name you have X. So X is the name of the variable and the variable is equident. Okay, and also number is the name of the variable and we do have the value of the variable in the opposite side. Okay, similarly sequence is the name of the variable and it's holding a different value. See, it is holding a value of a list. Okay, so these are the difference between value or like variable and a value. Variable can hold any value. Okay, so variable is just a name. Okay, just a name for the value. Okay, everyone understood what's variable is, or still confusing? You understood what variable is? So okay, we'll go for, like, if you don't understand the meaning of variable, you will not understand what we are going to see in the next upcoming slides. So if you didn't understand what a variable is, just tell me, I'll explain it. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Any doubts? No doubts. So you are aware what a variable is. Okay, so yeah, so there are some rules for declaring a name of a variable. Okay, so that's what we are going to see here. So variable can have a short name or a more descriptive name. Short name like X or Y, or a more descriptive name like age. If I'm going to give the value as my age, I can have a descriptive name as age, as a variable name. Okay, similar to car name or total volume. So it can be a descriptive name or like a single character. Okay, so rules for Python variable. To declare a Python variable, you need to follow these rules. Okay, a variable must start with a letter or underscore character. Okay, it should not start with a number or like special characters. Okay, it should start with a like letter or underscore character. Okay, it cannot start with a number. And the third is like it should only contain like alphanumerical values. Alphanumerical values in the sense A2 is that it can be uppercase or lowercase and 0 to 9. Okay, it should not have special characters like ampersand and everything. Okay, so it should be like alphanumerical value. So it should have only the alphanumerical values, otherwise it will throw an error. Okay, and also like variables are case sensitive, and Python is a very case sensitive language. Okay, so for example, if you are variable with for a name with a small n and a name with a capital N are two different variables. Our car with a small c and a capital C are two different variables. Okay, it is not, both are not same. Okay, it will be different. For example, in the previous slide, if I'm having another variable name capital N, and if I'm the variable is having a value of Renosha, okay, so both are different variables. Okay, even if it's having the same value, if it's with small n and another variable is with capital N, both are different variables, both are not same. Okay, it is obviously going to throw an error. Python is very case sensitive language, be it keywords or like the variables you are going to declare, it is going to be very case sensitive, so be careful with that. Okay, and the next is like variable cannot be of like Python keywords. There are like many Python keywords. Okay, for example, if you are going to give len and a certain variable name. Okay, len, and if I'm going to give like Renosha, it's going to give 6. Okay, because the length of my name is going to be 6 or 7, sorry, 7. Okay, so it is going to give len, the length, sorry. Okay, so len is a keyword, and similar to, we do have some other keywords like sum, and different keywords are there in Python, so we cannot use those keywords as a variable name. Okay, so these are the major things we need to follow when declaring a name and variable. Okay, so what are the things we saw? We need not the variable name should start with a letter and or a underscore. It should not start with a special character. It should not start with a number, and also it can have only alphanumerical values, and also it's case sensitive. Yeah, here is an example, right? See, age, three different variables. Be it like it can be denote anyone's age. Okay, so like both are like, these three are like different variables. These three are not same, because it's case sensitive. The Python interpreter will think it is like it is different variables. If you like in the first line of code, if you are giving like small letter age, and if you are giving in the like in the print statement, if you are giving the uppercase age, it will not give you an output, it will throw an error. Okay, it's case sensitive, so if you are declaring it with a small lowercase, you'll have till the end of the program. Okay, and we are going to see like next is like Python comments. Okay, so Python comments are majorly used for to increase the readability of the code and to understand. Okay, for example, if I'm writing a code and if I'm handing it over to another person, that person will not able to understand what are the variables I have named. For example, like if I'm declaring a age as X and I'm continuing throughout the program as X, the person will not understand what's the meaning of that X. Okay, so we need to give some like comments in between, so the next person who is like going to see your code or handle your code knows that you're handling like you have given some comments. Okay, so that they know like how the program works. Okay, guys in the back, any doubt? Any doubt? You can ask me if there is any doubt. Okay, so like Python comment, the syntax of Python comment is you have to start with hash. Okay, if it start with hash, it is going to be like the Python interpreter is going to think it as Python comment. The Python comments will not be like interpreted, it will not run in the program. So it's something you'll have to like to read. Okay, something you'll have to read. You'll not the interpreted. It will not be interpreted. It will not affect your program in any way. These commands. Okay. So this is like to give you an understanding of how these works. So I'll explain this in details. Okay, so in Python, to print a string or a number or to do like math operations, we can just use the keyword print. Okay, so print is a keyword in Python. So if you just give print and give something in the like braces, you'll have a something to print. Okay, any doubts? You can ask me, I'll explain. Guys, I'm not terrorizing you, I'm just asking. If there's any doubts, just ask me, I'll explain. No doubts. But there is some discussion going on, right? If there's any doubts, please ask me, I'll explain. Okay. Anything you want to say? So Python input and so how we are going to give a Python output or Python print. Okay. So if you are going to give a string to print, so you have to give the keyword print. Okay, print, and in the braces within like double quotes or single quotes, if you give us some certain string or a word to print, it will give an exact output. For example, first line is like print hello world, right? So it will going to give you an output of hello world. Okay, if you give a string, it will give whatever is inside the like double quotes, it will be printed. Okay, printed in the sense it will be shown as the output. Okay, and similar to that, if it is print numbers, we need not give it in if you give it in double quotes, it will be Python interpreter will think it as string. Okay, so I'll also explain the data types in the upcoming slides. Okay, these words will be different, right, for you, the integer or string. So I'll explain you what those is. String is just a, like you can have it as a sentence. Okay, if you have a sentence, that you can call it as a string, or a word you can call it as a string. Okay, a word can be called as a string. Okay, similar to that, if it's numbers, you need not give it in double quotes. You can just give like it will just give the numbers. If you give it in double quotes, it will consider it as a character or a string. Okay, and if it's math operation, it will directly perform the math operation. Okay, so if you give print 3 plus 3, it will give output as 9 like 6. Okay, 2 into 5, it will give the output as 10. Okay, so it will directly execute the program. If you give it in double quotes, it will be print as like 3 plus 3 or 2 into 5. You know, in programming, we will not use into symbol, right? So this is a symbol we'll be using for multiplication in programming. Okay, so it is 2 is to 5. Okay, 2 into 5, sorry, not 2 is to 5, 2 into 5. So here you will be given an output as 10. Okay, and if it is like mix of both text and numbers, so you can give the text in double quotes and you can just leave out the number and you can start with the double quotes for the next set of text need to be printed. Okay, so if it is like I am 35 years of old, it will be printed as I am 35 years of old. Okay, the number will be printed as same. You can even give it in double quotes, it will print as I'm 35 years of old. Okay, but it will be totally considered as a string. It will not consider it as a number or and a string. It will totally consider it as a string if it is fully in double quotes. If it is like this, the interpreter will understand. So 35 is a number here, others are string. Okay, so can we test with someone? Okay, can we do that? No? Yes or no? If it's no, okay, we'll carry on. Okay, so here we are going to... Sorry? Shanmugapriya, can you please... Do you have any doubts? Shanmugapriya, can you please mute yourself? Okay, so like Python data types. So here we are having like Python data types. We do have like different data. Guys in the back here. Okay. Okay, so like Python data types. Discussion over? Yeah, here. Come back here, okay? Is anything going on in the back? No, everyone is looking at there. Yeah, guys, come here. We'll finish it off. By 12, it will be over. Okay. And Python data type. Okay. So we have different data types in Python. Okay. Different data types in the sense, we know like in max, we have like positive numbers, negative numbers, like 0 is a different value. We do have like different values, right, in max. Similar to that, we do have like different data types. Okay. So for example, if we see it, if we look at a sentence for this, I'm like mix of both text and numbers. I am 35 years old. By looking at that, I know that I am is a string. Okay, but the interpreter will not understand it is a string. Okay, so if I'm going to get an input from a user, for example, if you are using different apps, right, you are going to input your name, your age, right? How does the machine understand? It's a like number. Age should be a number. How your name should be a string. Okay, is there some discussion is going on there? Any doubts? If there is any doubts, just ask me. Okay. So, but the compiler will not understand, like, sorry, here will not use compiler. The interpreter will not understand what is a like number, what is a string, or what is a character, what's a boolean. So it will not understand that. Okay. So we'll have to declare it initially so that the interpreter allocates some memory to the memory to run the program. To run the program, we need a memory. So everyone know what is RAM, ROM, everything, right? Everyone here have a laptop, right? So you know what's the difference between RAM and ROM. So what will be highest? RAM will be the highest or the ROM will be highest? Guys, I know guys will be like, you guys will be like very aware of like when buying a laptop, you know, like what is a RAM and what's a ROM. So like, yeah, what's the difference between a RAM and a ROM? Which should be the highest? RAM or the ROM? ROM. So like to be for your laptop to be fastest, which should be which should be like RAM should be the high, like RAM should be like around 8 GB or 16 GB. Then only your laptop will be like fastest. Okay, that's what we call a primary memory. Okay, RAM is what we call a primary memory. Okay, and the ROM is what we call a secondary memory. RAM is volatile and this one ROM is non-volatile. Okay, so this RAM will have like will store the memory of multiple programs running in your system. Okay, for example, if you are having PPT open, Chrome open, these data will be stored. Those application details will be stored in your ROM. That is your secondary memory. In your storage, you'll have storage, right? 512 GB, 1 TB. So these are the storages your laptop will have, right? Guys, here. Okay, these are the storages your laptop will have. So in that cases, the program to run a program, Python also need to allocate certain memory in the RAM. Okay, so then only it will be able to run a program. If it's like Chrome is running in the background, it will take some memory so that it runs in the background. So if you have like different photo editing apps, it will take you need to have a higher RAM so that your system runs smoothly. Similar to that, Python will also take some memory. So to give the interpreter an idea about how much storage we need to run a program, we are going to like declare the data type. Okay, guys, I'm telling from the very basic. Okay, if you just go and read the data types, you will not understand. I'm just telling you like why we are declaring a data type. Okay, so we need a certain memory in RAM to run a program. So the interpreter will not know whether it is a string or a number. It will not know how much space to allocate. So if we declare it in the front, so for integer it will take 2 bytes. Okay, for float 4 bytes. It's string for based on the length of the string, it depends. Okay, for different values it will allocate certain memory for the program to run. Okay, so you know the difference between byte, bit, byte, megabyte, everything, right? Hope people are aware. No. So bit is a single value, byte is like plural of like bit, and megabytes are like 1024 bytes are called megabyte. Okay, you are using internet every day, right? 1 MB, 2 MB. What's the full form of MB? Megabytes, right? So 1024 bytes make a MB. Okay, so similar to that, we need to allocate certain memory for the Python programming to run. Guys in the back, any doubts? Still the discussion about RAM? No, right? Come back here. Okay. So we'll see an example of Python data types. Okay. So we do have different data types. So for text type, please note it down. Okay, it will be very useful for you. For text type, you have string. Okay, and for numeric types, we have integer, float, and complex. Okay, you know float, right? Decimal values are called float. Okay, decimal values up to like up to 4 digits. Like after 0.4 digits are called float. After that, it's called complex. Okay, so if it have like 6 digits after the point, it's going to be like complex. Okay, and also sequence types. Sequence type in the sense we can store multiple values in a single variable name. That's what we call the sequence. In C programming, we have array, right? Similar to that, in Python, we have list, tuple, and dictionary. We do have array here. We majorly won't use array. We'll use list, tuple, and dictionary. Okay. So sequence type, we have 3 types. Okay. One is like list, tuple, and range. I'll explain all those in detail in the upcoming slides. Okay. Just note it down. Okay. For now, just note it down. I'll explain you all those things. Okay. And for mapping type, we have dictionary. Okay, so dictionary is similar to this sequence type. Okay, and the next one, set types. Set type in the sense like it will have different sets as the value. Okay, so we have 2 sets. One is like set, another one is like frozen set. I'll show you an example in the next slide. And also Boolean types. Boolean types are nothing but like 0 or 1, true or false. You would have studied logic gates in 12th standard, right? it will show like 0 or 1, right? 0 1 0 1. 0 means like false, 1 means true, right? So that's the case here. So that's what we call boolean. Okay. And also binary types, what I mentioned here, like bytes, byte array, memory view. Okay, so we will not need that much detail when you are using like Python in a beginner level. So bytes is like combination of bits. Okay, 1024 bits make bytes. So 1024 bytes make 1 megabyte. Similar to that, it goes on. And byte arrays, like I'll show you an example in the next slide. Okay, and also memory view is like how many memory is allocated for a particular program. That's what we call a memory view is. Okay, and also none type, we'll use this in programming, we will not majorly use this, just have an idea what none type is. When we are declaring a programming, or like in programming we'll declare a data type of variables in the starting. Okay, when you are writing a program in the initial stage, you'll declare all the variables which you are going to use in the program, and those variables will declare the type as well, like integer, float, complex. Similar to that, if it doesn't want the with any output return, we'll give none type. Okay, hope everyone noted it down. Okay, so these are the examples of those data types I've explained. Okay, so string, for example, you see string is hello world. So it is a sentence or a word. It can be a string. Okay, anything in double quotes is string. And integer, any number can be an integer. If it's not a decimal, it can be positive or negative. Okay, it is an integer. 20 is also an integer, minus negative 20 is also an integer. Okay, and next is float. 20.5, as I mentioned, it is like float. Okay, and complex in certain programmings, like when finding a value of a slope and everything, will have value as j, right? And those, and if like float with more than point, or like after point, if there is 6 digit, that is also called complex. Okay, and we have like list. Okay, list is something we give in square brackets. Okay, in programming you need to be careful about these brackets. Okay, we have curly braces, normal braces, square brackets. Okay, within the square brackets, whatever we give is called a list. Okay, it can be a number, it can be a like string or anything. So anything given in the square brackets is called a list. And the next one is tuple. I'll explain you in detail what a list is, tuple is, dictionaries in the upcoming slides. And in tuple, it is in like normal braces. Okay, that's what we call it, tuple is. And range, it's a keyword in Python. Okay, range is a keyword in Python. So we'll use this. Okay, I'll show you where it will be used, this ranges. For example, range in the sense all the numbers between 0 to 6. Here for range, 6 is given, right? So all the numbers from 0 to 6. And also have an idea in programming, the number starts from 0, not from 1. Okay, be it any range or anything, any calculation, like not majorly in mathematical operations, but other than that, even for memory, everything starts from 0, not from 1. Okay, so here in range of 0 to 6, not just 6. Okay, and the next one is like dictionary will have a key value pair. Okay, it will have a key and a value, like it's similar to the variable name, but everything will be stored in a within a variable name. Okay, within a variable name, dictionary can have any variable name. Okay, similar to whatever we mentioned, like talked about in variable, it can have any variable name. The dictionary will have a key, and that key will have a value. Guys in the back, any doubts about data types? Can you come and sit in the front? Anyone? Because there is some disturbance going on. If you have any doubt, just ask me, I'll explain you. Okay, and the next is set. Okay, so it is similar to dictionary, but it will not have a key value. It will just have the value of the things in the curly braces. So have a difference between dictionary and a set. Dictionary is in the curly braces, it will have a key and a value pair, but in set you will just have the value stored in a curly braces. Okay, and frozen set is set which is frozen, you cannot do any operations in that. It is frozen, so it will stay the same till the end of the program. Okay, and also, like as I mentioned, boolean is like true or false, 0 or 1. Okay, that's what a boolean is. And bytes, you know, right? Like the memories we use for to run a program. That's what, like it is a like metric. Okay, byte, bit, megabytes, terabytes, gigabytes, everything is are these metrics. Okay, how much memory will be needing to run a program. Okay, and byte array. So how many bytes, like bytes will be stored, how many for this sentence to be executed, we'll we'll have many strings in the programs, right? So for the program to run, we need to have byte, like the program will have a byte array. So to execute this program, I need to have this much to this to interpret this line, I need this much memory. To interpret the next line, I need this much memory. That's what a byte array is. Okay. And memory view and none will not be needing that much, so we'll leave it. Okay, that will be very confusing, so we'll leave it. And we'll see what Python casting is. Okay, so we learned about what a data type is, right? So we are going to see how we are going to use this data type in our program. See, as I mentioned, so if it's the number is given in double quotes, right? If it is given in double quotes, it's considered as a string. Okay, it will not be considered as an integer, it will be considered as a string. So in the next line, we are going to convert it as a integer. That's what we are going to do. Okay, so here I'm declaring a variable name I, and the next is like I'm going to convert this x into because this x is currently a string, right? I'm going to convert it as a integer. So I'm giving integer bracket x comma 2. Okay, so it will convert the number into base of this string into number of 2. Okay, it will consider only the first two numbers because the base of 2. So it will consider only the first two numbers. Okay, and for float, okay, it will consider it's a float. How it will be like 11,001.0. That's how the number will be printed. Okay, did everyone understand, or is it's very confusing? Confusing, right? So I'll just give you a very basic example, okay? So just leave it off. We need not this, we don't need these program. I'll just explain you very basically, okay? If I have any example, I'll show you. Yeah, I have it in the last slide. So I don't have any examples for that, okay? So you can have it like when I'm declaring a variable, okay? If I'm declaring a variable, I'll just give it as like int of 3. Then the interpreter will know I'm going to need 2 bytes to run this line. Okay, so that's how we'll declare a variable. Just leave this that example. So if you are declaring a program, if you are declaring a variable, you are going to give float. If you are giving float and a particular number, the interpreter will know I need 4 bytes for to run this program, to run this line, not this program, to run this line. Similarly, if it's string, it is going to need 4 to 6 bytes to run this line. So that's how it works. Okay, when getting a user input as well, we'll get it as like if you are going to get a number int input and you'll give a string to get the user input. Okay, so if you declare it, the interpreter will know how many bytes to allocate to run that line. Okay, that's what Python casting is. And next is Python string. So we are speaking like string, right? So we are going to see what that string is. A string is surrounded by either single quotation mark or double quotation mark. Okay, so like anything in the quotation mark is not case sensitive. Okay, it's going to consider as a string. Okay, so it will not be considered case sensitive or anything. So anything in the double quotes is called a string. Okay. See, like we have a first name John and last name Doe. Both are like what we call a string. Okay, two different variable names. So two are strings. The first name is also a string. The second name is also a string because it's given in the quotation mark. Okay, so here we are doing the concatenation operation. Okay, concatenation in the sense like adding both the things. That's what we call concatenation. Okay, so in that, like we have a keyword for that. We can call concat, or like here they have directly printed the statement. I'll explain you this one. This will be very easy for you. So full name, we have first name and last name. We are going to print the full name. Okay, in the full name, we'll have first name plus in the double quotes, we are going to give the space. Okay, because the Python will not automatically give a space. We'll have to give a space. Okay, we are manually giving a space there, and last name. So the plus sign is considered as concatenation. So when you are printing the full name, okay, the the name will be displayed as John space Doe. Okay, and in the print statement, we do have two full names. Anyone understood what's the difference there? Anyone? Did you understand what's going on there? So the print statement first given in the double quotes is just a string, it will be printed anyway. The full name is you are calling that variable in that name. So it will be printed as full name John Doe. Okay, you are calling that variable give a output of that full name. Okay, understood or it's still confusing? I can execute the program, but it will take time. That's why I'm just going fast. Again, I can share you this PPT. You guys can run it in Google Colab. Okay, just run it yourself, then you'll have an idea. If there is any doubt, just come back tomorrow and ask me. I'll explain. So in string also we have index. Okay, as I mentioned, anything in this programming will start from 0, not from 1. See, in the indexing, the numbers start from 0. Okay, 0, 1, like that. So the Python name has like index of 0 to 5. So when we are doing slicing or different things, you need to start from 0 to 5. Okay, if you are giving us 6, the length will be 6. Okay, but the index will be like 0 to 5. Okay, and the next is like operators in Python, not Boolean, but it is operators in Python. Okay, so major operators in Python. So we do have arithmetic operation, relational operation, logical operators, bitwise operators, and assignment operators. So arithmetic operators are like all the mathematical operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and also like the slash is for division. Okay, we won't use the divide symbol, we'll use the slash. Okay, that's what is division here, and the percentage symbol is called mod. Okay, if it's mod, it will not, if for example, if you are getting the remainder as 10.5, if it's mod will also do the same thing as divide, but it will not give the 0.5, it will give just 10. Okay, if it is divide, it will give you output of 10.5. If it's mod, it will just give you the after the it will not give the output after point. The decimal will not be there, it will just give an int output. Okay, integer output. And relational operators, you know, right? Less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So the difference between less than and less than or equal to is if you are using in different loops. If it's less than, guys in the last row, any doubts? Okay, so if it's less than means we'll not consider the last number. If it's less than or equal to, we'll consider the last number. For example, for I in range 0 to 6, or I can go for while loop. Okay, while I less than 5 means I'll do 4 iterations and I'll not include the fifth number. Okay, if it is less than or equal to 5, I'll include the fifth number. Okay, and this symbol like exclamatory mark equal to 0 is not equal to. Okay, understood? Equal to is also equal to, we cannot give equal to in Python programming. You have equal to. Okay, equal to, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to. Okay, and also logical operators. When you're studying logic gates, you have studied, right? And, or, not, XOR, you'll have studied those operation, right? The similar operation is what we call logical operators. And bitwise operators, we will not majorly use this bitwise operators. Okay, it is when you study data structure, so there you'll be using this bitwise operators to learn about those memories. Okay, and these things will be used in like bitwise memory to move the numbers and different things. You'll be using this bitwise operator. Don't need that because it will be confusing. And also like assignment operators. Assignment operators in the sense, for example, I can have a number as sum equal to sum plus 1. Okay, if there is some iterations, okay, for loop or while loop, we'll use for loop and while loop in Python. It will go on continuously until a certain condition is met. Okay, in that case, sum equal to sum plus 1 means I need to, for example, some value is 10. Okay, I need to add one additional number to that. In that case, instead of calling the sum again, instead of calling the 10 again, I can just give sum plus equal to 1. In that case, it will be considered as sum equal to sum plus 1. Okay, plus equal to means that sum will be sum plus 1, or minus equal to means minus 1. Similarly, mod equal to means that operation will be performed on some. The variable which you are declaring, the operation will be performed on that variable. Okay. And the next one is like Python list. Okay. So Python list is like what we can say, it is like it's used to store multiple values. Okay. And please do note that it's immutable. That means there are two things. Okay, mutable and immutable. Mutable means we can change the value of those lists after it is declared, and immutable means we will not be able to change the value once it is declared. Okay, for example, if I'm having a string and I have already declared the value as apple, orange and grapes, I will not be able to change that. It will be till the end of the program, it will be like apple, orange and grapes. Okay, so that's what a list is. Okay, the key characteristics of the list are like it's ordered. We will not be able to change the order. Okay, once it's declared, the order will be same. Okay, you cannot change the order. You'll have to if it's like apple, orange and grapes, it will not be grapes, orange, apple. Okay, it is apple, orange, grapes. It will be in the same order, and it is like mutable. Sorry, like Python list is mutable. Okay, tuple is immutable. Sorry for that. Python list is mutable. You can add values to that. Okay, you can change the value, but it is ordered. You cannot change the order, but you can add new values to that or modify, remove. You can do those operations. It's mutable. And also heterogeneous. Okay, it's not homogeneous, it's heterogeneous. Heterogeneous in the sense it can have any value. It can have a string, float, any values like a boolean in a single list. Okay, it can have any value. That's what heterogeneous is. And also zero index. As I mentioned, the index for this list will start from 0, not from 1. Okay, and Python tuple. Okay, Python tuple is similar to this Python list, but the thing is that the difference is that there will be square braces for list and normal braces for like this tuple. Okay, and also like tuple is like immutable. Once declared, you cannot change the value. Okay, and also like homogeneous. Sorry, it's also heterogeneous. Okay, so you can have like different values in that, similar to that, but the only difference is that it is like mute. That is like list is mutable, tuple is immutable. Okay, and also here you cannot have duplicates. In list you can have duplicates. Okay, you can have apple twice, but in tuple you cannot have the value of like the value apple twice. Okay, it cannot have duplicates. And the next is like Python dictionary. Okay, so dictionary is what we have like key value pairs. Okay, we'll have a key as well as value. For example, you can see, right? So dictionary, we have a key called A and the value is like Harry, and B it's like carry. Okay, so to call that value we need to access the key. Okay, that's why we use dictionary. Okay, dictionary is majorly used in data structures. Normally we will not need this dictionary. Majorly we will use list and tuple. This they will be used only in data structures. We need not go that in that detail. Okay, so yeah, the here also characteristics is it's ordered. Okay, it will be in order. We cannot change the order of those variables, and also it is mutable. You can change the values, and here also you cannot have, you can have duplicate values. Okay, you can have two apples but you cannot have two A's. Okay, we have A, B, right? So you can have C as Harry again, but not, you will not be able to have A as another key. Okay, keys can like keys cannot be duplicate, values can be duplicate. Okay, and it can be of any data type. Okay, key can be of any data type, variable can be of any data type. Okay, so this can be a character or a string, and the value can be a like a number or a like float or complex or anything. Okay, so here is how now only we are going into this flow statements. Okay, in any programming language you'll have this flow statements. Okay, so we have conditional statements, transfer statements, and iterative statements. Okay, these are the statements which will help us to write a basic program. Okay, these are the things what we saw, data types, and how number is printed and everything. Here is how we are going to learn how to write a program. Okay, so flow control. Flow control, we have three type of statements: conditional statements, transfer statements, and iterative statements. So conditional statements are like if else, if else, and nested if else. Okay, this elif concept is concept is specific to Python. Okay, in other languages we'll have if or else. In Python, specifically for Python, we have elif concept. Else if is called elif. Okay, and transfer statements we have break, continue, and pass, and iterative statements for and while. Okay, these are called conditional statements. So if a condition is true, the particular set of code will be executed in conditional statement. Iterative statement, it will go on, it will repeat the loop. Okay, it will repeat the loop until the condition is met. That's what the iterative statement is. Transfer statement is, it will transfer the the control to the next statement. Okay, break in the sense, it will break the program, it will halt the program. The program will end there. So continue means it will continue the program, and pass means it will pass to the next line. It will not execute that exact line, it will go to the next line. Okay. Guys, any doubt there? Okay. So we are going to see the conditional statements. Okay. If a condition is true, the particular block of code will be executed. Okay, so that's what the conditional statement is. The first we are going to see what are the conditional statements available. So you can see like if statement, if or else, and if elif else, if elif elif, and if you don't have else also, that's also valid. Okay, so I'll show you an example. Okay, so it's for if statement. I'm declaring age as 18 here. Okay, it can be any value. In this case, I'm declaring as 18. If the age is greater than or equal to 18, then print you are an adult. Okay, there is also a comment here, right? Where is the comment here? We saw what a comment is, right? People in Google Meet. So we have a comment here. So can someone point out where the comment is? Guys, I told you, right? Comment is something that start with hash. So we have, right, code after if. That's what a comment is. So when we write a program, we give a comment like this. Then only the person who is seeing the program, the person who didn't write a program or newly seeing the program will understand what's the purpose of that code. Okay. So here, hope you understood what this program is trying to tell you. So we are declaring age is 18. Okay. So the value of age is 18. If the value of age is greater than or equal to 18, so I told you the difference between greater than and greater than or equal to. Okay, and print you are an adult. So what it is going to give you? Is it equal to 18? Greater than or equal to 18? Age greater than or equal to 18? Is it greater? No, but it's greater than or equal to, right? So it's equal to 18. So here the condition is true. So it will print you are an adult. Right. So if so the condition is true, it will give the output. It will print the output. If the condition is not true, it will not give you an output. The code will be halted. Okay. So it will not give you an output. So the next in the next scenario you can see the age is given 16. If the age is greater than or equal to 16, print you are an adult. Here is it greater than or equal to 18? No, age is 16, right? So it will not give you an output. The program will be halted. Okay. So this is what a if statement is. And if else statement. Okay, so we'll have two things here. The first one is if the if condition is not met, if the if condition is false, the else statement will be executed. Okay, so if condition is true, first condition is like current hour, that's a variable name. See, in the variable name they have just used an underscore and all the alphanumerical characters, just alphabets are there, and underscore is acceptable. But if you are giving some special cases, it will not accept. Okay, so current hour is equal to 11, right? So if current hour is less than 12, print good morning. Else print good afternoon. Here also there is comment, right? People in the last, there is a comment right here, right? Can you please spot where the comment is? We just saw in the last slide what the comment is. No idea? Anything that starts after hash is called comment. Okay? Code after if else, that's what a comment is. Okay? So if the condition is false, guys in the last, anything to say? Do you need to say anything? Okay, so if the condition is false, guys, come here. So if the condition is false, the else statement will be executed. Okay, in the last program it was true, so only the if statement got executed. In this program, the else will be getting executed. Okay, so here the current hour is 15. If the current hour is less than or equal to 12, print good morning. So is it less than 12? It's not less than 12, right? So it will, the else condition will be printed. So good afternoon will be printed here. Okay, that's what if else is. So this conditional statements are very easy to understand, right? If else, and the next is elif. Okay, so it's nested if else. Okay, next we'll see elif. Nested if else is like inside the if we'll have another if else statement. Okay, it'll also be easy. I'll explain you. Though we are declaring a variable score as 85. Okay, has passed the exam. So we are declaring a boolean here. See, true, 0 or 1, true or false. It's a boolean. Okay, has passed the exam. True, the value is true. If score greater than or equal to 60, then execute this block of code. You are going to execute the code inside the if block. Okay, we have another if inside the if, right? So then once one condition is checked, if the value is less than 60, the next line we are going to check if he has passed the exam. Okay, if he has passed the exam, we can print he has passed the exam. Else he has not passed the exam, we'll print. So they have just given a code, we can give whatever the code is. Okay, so we'll print he has passed the exam. If not, he has not passed the exam. So he has, if he has passed the exam, 0 or 1, true means 1, right? If 1, print this one. We are going to give the condition, print he has passed, else he has not passed. Okay, so else he has not passed. Okay, similarly we'll give that code. Okay, here the value is 85, right? Score is, whether he has passed, the score is greater than or equal to 60. Then we are checking the next condition, whether he has passed or not. Okay, so he has passed, so we will print he has passed. So if that condition is like not passed, if the score is not less than or equal to 60, we need not check this condition, right? If he has passed or not, we automatically know he has not passed. So we'll come to the else statement and we'll print he has not passed. Is it confusing? Are you understood? Confusing or understood? Confusing. Understood. Okay. And this is like outer condition is true. So like we went inside that block and we'll execute that block. Okay, if it is like false, if the value is minus 85, it is obviously going to be less than 60. So we are going to execute the else block. Okay, he has not passed. Okay, we just need to check one condition, right? You can either check whether he has passed the exam, true or not. If he is like not passed, we can directly give is not passed. So if the value is, then we can check if the value is greater than or equal to 60 or not. So similar to that. Okay, if the if condition is met, then we'll, if we have a whatever is inside the if block will be executed, be it like another if else statement or a for loop or while loop, it will be executed. If it is true, whatever the code is inside the if block will be executed. If not, else will be executed. That's what a nested if else is. Okay, and elif statement. Okay, this is what we call an elif statement. Okay, the first thing is like we'll have if condition, and the next one is elif. How many conditions we have, we can have that many elifs. Okay, elif is nothing but else if. Okay, so here the score is given as 93. Okay, in the if statement I'm checking if the score is greater than or equal to 90, then print grade A. Okay, so here the condition is true, then we'll print grade A. So if the for printing grades, we need have like A, B, C, D, right? So for LF, for B grade, we have value between 80 to 90, right? Similarly, for different statements, we have different grades we have. So in the next program, you see the first line is like score is equal to 60. And if score greater than or equal to 90, we are going to print grade A. So here that's obviously not the case, okay? And grade is 60. So in the next condition, we are checking if 80 or less than or equal to score or less than or equal to 90, we can write like this, as well as we can write like score less than or equal to 80 and score less than or equal to 90. Okay. Score greater than or equal to 80 and less than or equal to 90. We can write like that as well. So we have different formats to write in LF. Okay, I'll just explain you the basic. We don't have much time. So I'll explain you the basics. Just go through. You can go through like W3 schools for Python basics. Okay, you'll have detailed explanation as well as like compiler, online compiler. So you'll be able to see the program and as well as run it then and there. Okay, so in this elif statement we are checking if the score is greater than or equal to 80 and less than 90. So that's not the case here. And also we are checking the next elif, we are checking if it's greater than 70 and less than or equal to 80. That's also not the case, right? And we are checking if the score is less than or like greater than or equal to 60 and less than or equal to 70. So that's where the condition is true, right? So here the grade will be printed as D. Okay, we'll not go into else. Hope everyone understood. Any doubts? So this LF condition might be might be little confusing for you, right? So 80 less than or equal to score less than or equal to 90, right? That might be confusing for you. You can use different format as well, right? Score greater than or equal to 80 and score less than or equal to 90. That also works. Okay, in this case like score is like greater than 80 and less than 90. That's why it is like a simplified version. Okay, you can use that for you to for better understanding. You can use that. Okay, score greater than or equal to 80 and score less than or equal to 90, then you'll have the same output. Okay, just the way of writing is different here. Okay, and if the if condition is also false and the elif condition, guys, any doubts? Okay, so if condition is also false and the elif condition is also false, we'll execute the else clause. Okay, the else will be executed. So if the score is 32, it will not come into any of these categories, right? So it will be the else condition will be executed. Print grade F. Okay, the grade will be printed as F. That's what this elif statement is. Okay, and match statement. This is one of the like most easiest to understand. Okay, so like we are declaring the day as 4 here. Okay, match day, the function name is like match day. And case 1, okay, if the case 1 print Monday, case 2 print Tuesday, case 3 print Wednesday. Okay, similarly we have till Sunday. Okay, so here the day value is what, 4, right? So we are going to print the case 4 Thursday. That will be the output. Okay, this is what a match statement is. Okay, this is major. This will be majorly used to print grades, month, days. So whichever have the fixed values, like Monday, Tuesday, or January, February, or grades like A, B, C. So in those cases, we can use match statement. Okay, and also ternary statement. Okay, this is a statement which we rarely use. Okay, it is like if-else statement, but in a single line. Okay, if-else statement can be like when we write it, it will come as like 4 lines of code, right? So here you can write that in a single line. Age is 16, status is adult, if age greater than or equal to 18, else minor. So the thing is that what we are saying is here, if the age is greater than or equal to 18, status is adult, else print minor. Okay, that's what we are saying here. But here the syntax would be the first would be the output, next is like the if statement, and then the else statement. If this condition, print this output. If not, print the else clause. Okay, that's what a ternary statement is. So when you are learning Python, you need to learn all the syntaxes, how to write these basic syntaxes like for loop, while loop, if-else statements, else statement, how to write those codes. Then once you have an idea of like how to write a program, how to add two numbers, obviously you know like if you are going to add two numbers, A and B, you just need to declare two variables, add A and B, you'll get an output, right? So you'll have the concept of how to write the program. Everyone will, guys, if you have any doubts, you can ask me, I'll explain. Okay. So that's what like you just need to have basic syntax. You just if you're learning any programming language, you just need to know the basic syntax. Then only you'll be able to understand how to write a program, because everyone will know how to like the concept of program. Everyone here have learned maths from very beginning of your life, right? So you'll know how to write a program, but you need to know the syntax. Then only you'll be able to write the program. So please, once this is completed, when you're going home, just go through the syntax. You'll have a clear idea. Okay, I have explained the concepts, but once you go through the syntax, only you'll be able to write a program. Okay, so are you guys first year or second year? First year. Okay, so you'll have a elective next year, right? So how many of you are choosing to go for business analytics? Only 4 people. Just 4. Okay, you will not be able to survive without Python, okay? Anyway, congratulations to the people who are choosing business analytics. There are like plenty of openings for that, okay? And next is like iterative statements, okay? Next we are coming for the for loop, while loop, and nested for, okay? The first we saw is like conditional statements. Guys, any doubt? Guys, if I see anyone next, like there is some disturbances going on, I'll ask you what I explained till far. Okay. I'll ask you whatever I explained so far, you'll have to explain, okay? If you I have already told you, if you have any doubts, you can ask me, but there is some disturbances in the back. Okay. Then next is like iterative statement. So for loop, while loop, and nested for. So iterative statement is like a loop. It will go on until the condition is met. Okay. That's what an iterative statement is. The first is we are going to see a for loop. Okay, the for loop and while loop will majorly use in most of the programming. Okay, if there is a condition, for example, what you can say, if we need to add numbers, keep on adding numbers until a certain value is met, we'll use this loops. Okay, you can see the definition of for loop is used to iterate over a sequence such as list, tuple, string, or a range. It will allow you to execute a block of code repeatedly once for each item in the sequence. It will allow you to go in a sequence. Okay, for example, if you have a list, you have to add all the values in a list. You need to go in a loop, right? Then only you'll be able to add all the values in the list. Manually, we can add the values in the list, but the interpreter will not know how to add a value in a list. So this for loop is what we need to this to get the sum of all the numbers in the list. Okay, see this program. So this is the syntax for loop. Okay, for iterating variable in sequence, for x in range 0 to 6. Then we'll give a statement. Okay, x equal to, or like x plus equal to 1. So we'll keep on adding the value of x. Okay, initially the value of x will be 0. We consider like x is equal to 1 or 0. So for x in range 0 comma 6, it will start from 0. So it will keep on adding the value of x. Okay. So for each item in a sequence, so this is the flow diagram of how for loop works. Okay, for each item in a sequence, is the last item reached. Okay, so for example, like for x in range, see, if you have, let me just see if you have. I have an example program. I will show you this. Okay, so colors equal to, I have given a list: red, green, yellow, and black. For x in colors, print x. Okay, so for example, so when I'm printing this, what will happen is first it will print x value is obviously taken as 0. Okay, as I mentioned, the index will start from 0, not from 1. Okay, x equal to 0. So the first value will be red, green, yellow, and black. Okay, in the sequence till the condition is met. So in colors, we have like 4 colors. So the index is 0, 3. Okay, so in colors, we'll print all the values in the color. Right, so you can see the output below: red, green, yellow, and black. So all the values are printed there. And next we'll see for s equal to red, we have declared a string. Okay, for x in yes, print x. So here we can see like it is iterating through each character. See, in the first iteration, see in the first one in the colors, there are 4 iterations happened. Similarly, here you have 3 iterations happening: R, E, D. Right? Okay. Similar to that, if the number is there, similar operation will happen. Okay. If there is a numbers here, if you are going to add the numbers, similarly the loop will go on. Each time the value will be added. For example, 40, 50, 60, and 70. Okay. The first time in the first loop, it will print the value of x would be 50. And in the next loop, 50 plus 60, 110. So similarly, it will give an output. Okay, in each iteration, the value will increase. So the loop will go on until the condition is met. If I'm giving for I in range 0, 6, my list has like we can say like 4 numbers. Not 4 numbers, 10 numbers. Okay, if I'm giving 6, it will go from like 0 to 6th number. Okay, so 6 iterations will happen. Not 6, 7 iterations will happen. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 iterations will happen and 6 times the loop will continue on. Okay, the value will be added till the 7th item. Okay, that's how a for loop is. Hope you understood. The numerical values are a little confusing, right? You can just execute a program. If I have the time in the end, I'll show you this for loop, okay? And the next is while loop, okay? While loop is similar to for loop, but it will be declared if the condition is met. Okay, we'll give here like for I in range or for x in this colors, but here in while loop you have to give a condition. Okay, or if you are giving like while equal to 1, it will go on, it will, because while true the condition will go on. Okay, in while some condition must be met, true or false, then only the loop will stop. Guys, any doubt in while loop? Okay, so you can see the syntax for while loop. While expression statement. Here the condition must be met, then only the while loop will be stopped. Okay, the while loop will continue, but the condition must be met for it to stop. Okay, I'll show you an example. So number is 1. Okay, so while number less than or equal to 5, print number John. Okay, num equal to num plus 1. So while I'm going inside the while loop, number equal to number less than or equal to 5, I'll print 1 John. Number, we are calling the number, right? So 1 John. So next line will go number is equal to number plus 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So in the next loop I'm going. So it will not go to the number 1, it will go to the while loop again. The flow will go to the while loop again. So the number is 2. 2 less than or equal to 5. Again 2 John, and 2 plus 1 3. Again I'm checking 3 less than or equal to 5. 3 John. Okay. And the number is 4 again. So 4 less than or equal to 5. I'll print 4 John. And number is 5. This time number is 5. So number is less than or equal to 5. So 5th time I'll print, and again the number will add this number will be executed because it's inside the while loop. So this will again be executed. So number equal to number like 5 plus 6, we'll check number less than or equal to 5. So the condition is not met. So the while loop will be halted. Okay, that's what a while loop is. And next is Python function. Okay, guys, is it boring? Yes, but you'll not be able to survive without this. That's a scenario. Even if it's boring, you'll have to learn. Okay, it's the most easiest one and you are finding it boring. Then what will happen if you are learning Java? Java would be like 10 times difficult than this. Okay, but once you learn Python, most of the concepts will be same. This for loop, guys. So most of the things will be similar. Okay, the for loop, while loop, these concepts will be similar, but only the syntax and the keywords will change. Okay, so Python function. So Python function is something like once you declare a function, we can use that function again and again in our program. For example, define function, and we are giving two variables a comma b. So wherever I'm adding two numbers in the program, I can call this function. Okay, so I can reuse this function again and again. So for example, if I'm giving the value as add, if I'm adding like two numbers, I can just call in the program add and give two inputs. Then I'll just get an output. Okay, I need not write the code again. Okay, in Python we'll have many functions. So functions are reusable. So we can reuse the function again and again in our program once declared. Okay, so this is the syntax of a function. So define, def means define, function name, parameters. How many parameters we need to have for a function? For adding two variables, we need just two variables. If it's three, we need three variables. Similar to that. Then we'll have a statements. What are the lines of code we need to execute? Those statements will be there, and a return statement. Okay, return statement is what gives the output. Okay, what gives the output is called the return statement. Okay, we have like different functions in Python. Okay, any doubts? So guys, like, did you understand anything at all? No. Yes. Okay. So we have different functions in Python. Okay. First is user defined function. So what we saw here is like a user defined function. What we define is called a user defined function. Okay. And the next is called built in functions. So built in functions are the functions that are already built in Python. Okay. So the functions are like written by someone else. We can just use those functions or libraries. Pandas is written by someone else. We can just use it for like data visualization, right? So that's what we call built-in functions. And next is like library functions. Python, Matplotlib, Cborn, Skitlearn, everything are like libraries which are already, these are like many functions built in together are called libraries. Okay, so built-in libraries, like if we call sum, it will give a value of two variables. Len means it will give the length of the variables. So these are already written functions in Python. Okay, it was already written by someone else in the source code, so you can just call that. That's what we call an built-in function. See, print is also a built-in function. It was written by someone else, but you're calling that in your program. That is called built-in functions. And library functions. Okay, library functions are like pandas, skitlearn, matplotlib, cborn, everything are like library functions. And anonymous functions, these are like it will be majorly used when we are going for like this data structure side. Then only we'll be using this anonymous function. We will not majorly use this lambda function. Okay, and in machine learning we'll use this for map and filter. Okay, to map the data and to filter the data, because when we have a large set of data, people who are going to business analytics, like when you have a data, you'll first thing you need to check is, if you have an Excel, okay, you have millions of data, there will be many inconsistent data. For example, some will not have date of birth, some will not have their age, some will not have their gender. So we cannot use all the data to generate the output, because our output will be like inconsistent, right? In that case, we need to remove the extra data, right? So in those cases, we'll use this lambda function to remove the unwanted things. Okay, and next is recursive function. So the functions that call themselves to solve a problem, that are called like recursive functions. We saw like while loop and for loop, right? It will go on again and again until a particular condition is met. Similar to that, to solve a problem, this function will call itself again and again. That's what we call a recursive function. So any doubts until this? So we have majorly covered all the things needed. Any doubts until this? Any doubts you can ask me. So we just have like, yeah, majorly we are done. We just have 3 more slides to go. Any doubts? No doubts. So everyone can summarize whatever happened till now, whatever I explained till now. So everyone understood, right? Didn't understand. So I'll just give you another short, like brief, whatever we discussed, okay? And next is user input. So till now we saw like when we give an input, right? We gave age is 16, but when you are using different apps, the apps will ask you what your age is. You will give an input, right? So if you are going in business scenario, you cannot like assume everyone's age will be particularly this. Everyone's age will be 16. Everyone's age will be 18. You need to ask the user what their age is, right? So that's what we come with like user input. You need to get the input from user and then add two numbers or like perform some operation. Okay. So user input. So here we can see like first line we are getting user input. Okay. Syntax for user input is like you have to give the integer type, like data type, integer or float or complex, and the next is like input. You are going to get an input, right? So int bracket input bracket whatever you want to print. Okay, here we are having, we didn't declare the data type here, but usually if you do, the interpreter will know how many data to how many bytes to take to execute that particular line. So here you have given a input, enter your first number. Okay, so when you are getting the user input, the interpreter will show enter your first number, and the user will be able to enter their first number. Okay, you are getting the input from the user, but it will display enter your first number. You have to ask some question to the user, right? Then only user will know what to enter. So that's what the enter the first number is, that string is. So enter the first number, so you'll give an input. Okay, and enter the second number, you are going to add the two numbers and it is going to print the sum of this number. The first number and second number is going to be this sum. Okay, so here for example, first number is like 10, second number is like 3. Okay, we are giving the user input, so it is going to add 10 plus 3 13. The sum of 10 and 10 and 3 is 13. That's what the user output would be. So in this case, similarly, we can get string, float, complex, whatever it is, but the interpreter will initially take it as integer. If you don't declare it, it will take it as an integer. If you specifically mention it as a string, then it will consider as a string. If not, it will consider as an integer. So to be on the safer side and to avoid errors, we need to give the data type initially. Int, bracket, input, enter the first number, then close the bracket, and again another bracket. Okay, that's how we'll run the program. Okay, that's what the user input is. And next we are going to see the Python libraries. Okay, we have like many pre-written libraries in Python. Okay, so it will have functions, classes, and methods to perform different things to do in a program. That's what we call like Python libraries. We have many libraries. So based on the things it will do, I have categorized it. Okay, for data science we'll use NumPy. For all the numerical operations we'll use NumPy. Okay, whatever in calculating the values or different things, we'll use NumPy. Next is Pandas for data analysis. For analyzing the data, what are the data you have, how you are going to use it, that's for like Pandas. And the next is like Matplotlib and Seaborn. These are also used for like data visualization. Okay, you need to visualize the data, then only you'll know what are the data you have and how to utilize those data. Okay, you might have like different values and different like for example, if you're having a data for attrition, you'll have their years of experience, the number of promotions they got, and like compared to their like co-workers, what was their attendance, everything. So if you analyze those details, you'll know what's the reason for their leaving the job, right? So if they didn't get enough promotions compared to their co-workers, or their attendance is less compared to their co-workers, or like they were fully in the office and the number of promotions is still less, then we'll know, right? So for that we need to visualize the data, then only we'll have the idea what's happening. So in those cases, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn can be used. Okay, and for machine learning and AI, we'll use like skitlearn. Okay, skitlearn, it's for like we have different algorithms. Okay, random forest and different algorithms in machine learning. So to execute those algorithms and this clustering, and these are the like regression clustering, we have different algorithms. Okay, so to execute those things, we need skitlearn. Okay, to know about the data. And TensorFlow. TensorFlow is majorly used in neural network. Here you know what neural network is, right? Deep learning. No idea about neural networks? So neural network is something that works similar to how our brains work, how our neurons in the brain works. Okay, so a neuron will be connected to multiple other neurons. It will train those neurons. So those neurons in turn will train the first neuron. So it will keep on learning. It will train itself. Even if some prediction is wrong, it will train itself again and again until it gets the output right. So that's what we call a deep learning is. Okay, so there are different things. There are many subsets of AI, not just machine learning. There is deep learning and different things. Okay, please explore that as well. And LangChain. Okay, LangChain is mainly used for this LLM models. For example, LLM models, ChatGPT is an LLM model. Uh, because it can, and also NLP, natural language processing, we will say. That is like natural language processing is like, anyone aware of OCR? OCR? Okay, so OCR is something like when you have a PDF and you try to convert it to Word. Okay, that is text as an image, but you try to extract it as a text, right? That's what we call OCRs. NLP is used there. Okay, so handwriting to text. So natural language into a text, that's what we call a natural language processing is. Okay, and AI agents. So like there are many AI agents as well nowadays. Plus, so for that also we need LangChain. So LangChain is a like very in-demand skill right now. Okay, AI agents and LangChain. Guys, any doubt? Are you planning to learn LangChain? Okay, so that's it. We are done. Any doubts? So what are the things we saw? Can anyone brief? Or you can brief as a whole as well. So we saw what are the basics of Python, what Python is, basic syntax in Python. Okay, what for loop is, conditional statements and break statements, as well as this flow control statements like for loop, like iterative statements. Okay, we saw what comment is, what string is, different data types in Python. Okay, these are the very basic things we need to know about in Python. Okay, there are also like if there is any doubts, if there is any doubt in for loop or while loop, anything like that, just tell me. I'll execute a program and I'll let you know. Any doubts? No doubts. We'll wind up the session. Okay then. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable information about Python program and the importance of learning it. Now I call upon Miss Divyadashini from first year MBA A section to give feedback about today's workshop.
The overall session was so helpful, and we learned a lot of new things today, like what is integer, what is string, for loop, and while loop concept. Thank you.
Now I call upon Miss Krishna Priya from first year MBA B section to give feedback about today's workshop.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining this session. Your session is really interesting and it gave many insights into Python for the while loop, etc. Thank you so much.
As we approach to the conclusion of today's workshop, it's time to express our sincere gratitude to everyone who contributed to today's session. I now invite Ms. Jagadeep from FT of First MBA to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning to everyone. I feel very happy and honored to deliver the vote of thanks for today's session, Python of Managers Data-Driven Decision-Making Workshop organized by the Department of Management Studies at St. Xavier's Catholic College of Engineering. First of all, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Ms. S.A. Sagaya Rinosa, HR Business Partner at Talentgeese. Madam, thank you for taking your valuable time to share your knowledge and insights with us. Your session gave us a clear understanding of how Python can be used in data-driven decision making, and it was truly informative and inspiring for all of us. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to our respected correspondent, Reverend Father S. Godwin Selva Justice, Principal Dr. J. Mageswaran, and the Vice Principal, Dr. V. Christus Jayasingh, and extend our thanks to them in their absence for their constant encouragement and support in organizing such valuable academic programs. We also extend our sincere thanks to the Department of Management Studies for organizing this wonderful workshop. My special thanks to the convener, Dr. V. Darling Selvi, the coordinator, Dr. M. Babima, and the joint coordinator, Ms. M. Adeline, for their guidance, planning, and continuous support in making their session successful. I would also like to thank all the faculty members, organizers, and student volunteers who worked behind the scene to make this event possible. Finally, I extend my sincere thanks to all the participants for your active presence and enthusiasm throughout the session. Once again, we thank you, Ms. S.A. Sagaya Rinosa, for your valuable session. Thank you all.
Thank you, Jagati.
We we conclude day 2 of our workshop on Python for managers, data driven decision making. Thank you all for your active participation, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 3. Thank you all.